Good morning, YouTubers, and welcome back to the southern wing of the Stink Bug Works. As you can see, I haven't done squat since we spoke yesterday. Anyway, well, I haven't done squat here on the bench. I went up to Fallbrook, put the wheel back on my car. Needs a new battery, so get a load of this. I can buy a battery and get it delivered here the next day. Now, do I want to go driving around all day today to get a battery, or do I want to just work on my boats until the guy delivers it to me? You know, the internet's a good thing. Anyway, I just brought this out to show you I'm still working on this. It's getting ready for its second coat. I'm sanding the hell out of this. So we'll see what happens on that. So here you go. This little guy. Big B and I started at the same time. Let's see. Today is Wednesday. Monday morning, 2 days ago, I called up New Motors and talked to Jeff Kieseman. And I told Jeff, I want a little screamer motor. I want to turn a little propeller really fast. And I said, I want an 1105 2Y. And he kind of chuckled and said, yeah, that's a little screamer. So we're going to put the little screamer in here. Big B has gone through just an excellent presentation of how and why to do everything. I'm only going to do one thing slightly different. Big B likes making servo mounts, and he made one up in advance. And I think he missed the opportunity because I like doing this. Now, these hulls, all these fiberglass hulls, they got a little flimsy right here, and they need just a little piece to stiffen them up. It doesn't have to be much. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of carbon fiber, cut a hole for the servo, and use it as the support. So I don't have a servo mount and then a support, combined. And here's the one thing, and on Big B's boats, they're so much bigger, you have room to deal with it, You can get your hand in there. This boat, there's no way. So what I've taken to doing is when I put a servo in like this, I'll kick that plate out just a little bit to give a little bit of angle on the servo, just to make it easier to get at these screws. Because if it's laying flat and you got to get in here to adjust something, it's just a bear. It's just a bear. If you have a straight shot at it, it's easier. So that's the only thing we do differently. See, I'm still drawing lines on mine. And one of the big deals that's holding me up from doing anything is balance. And I got to know what range can I put my motor. I have a good idea how much weight it's going to take up here, but the real question is, where can I stick the motor mount? Now, I could put the motor butting right up against, say this were the motor, butting right up against that bulkhead behind the cockpit. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I can access the motor mount. It's all good. But I would really like to move it forward. And what I would really like to do is move it forward till I can just reach this screw. The problem is, how do I get the motor back to this side of the mount? So the motor has to go past the mount, which is why I'm drawing this arc right here. I'm looking at how much of an angle can I get my motor and get it to move in there, and it looks like, you know, about there. So that may be as far forward as I can go with the motor mount to be able to slip the motor in. Now, I do have another option, is a flat plate mount, but that flat plate would have to be removable. If this were my motor mount and it were up here, I would either have to be able to get over it or move it out of the way to get back to it. So those are some of the things I'm still working on. Now, that's one of the advantages of a big boat like Big B's. He's got lots of room. He can get his hands in there and move around. He can throw a great big battery in there and have room for another one. So, you know, different ends of the spectrum, but interestingly enough, much of the same thinking goes into both of them. Big B talked about cable whip. In the old days, we used to, as a matter of course, set up cable drives with an S-band. Take the systems, for example. The systems I have set up with an S-band. This thing's predecessor, my earlier version of it, has an S-band. I think I have an S-band in one of the little micro shovels from Germany. So in the old days, we set them up with an S-bend. And then somebody said, hey, you know, that's a lot of drag. Drag equals speed. And everybody said, yeah. And they went to the straight shafts or the single bend. The problem is, and Big B's finding this out, when it's really long, the longer it is, the easier it is to get whippy in there. If the cable were half an inch long, it wouldn't whip at all. If it were 7 miles long, it would be nothing but whip. So, you know, somewhere in between those extremes exists the real world. And, you know, in a case like that, the first thing I'd ask him is, did you grease the hell out of it first? I didn't see a big wad of grease going in there, because that big wad of grease is going to help. So, just a thought. You know, Teflon liners, I love them, I hate them. For the little tiny stuff, yeah. For the bigger, high-power stuff, you can just melt those things if you have enough power. So, everything kind of with a grain of salt. So we'll see Big B's solution on a whippy drive line. This, I'm using 130 cable, which for something this size is huge. I mean, my other one of these runs on 2.2 millimeter, which is smaller than the Octura 098. So that's some thinking, just some jaw-jacking here at the Stink Bug Works while I absorb my jet juice. Get ready for the day. Oh. I'm going to cut in at the end of this video. Yesterday, Mama Duck came exploring our backyard looking for a safe place to hang out. Mama Duck had a dozen little baby ducks, and she looked over here, and Mama Duck was pretty good with humans. A lot of the ducks around here are pretty good with humans because people tend to just feed ducks here at the shoreline. So Mama Duck wasn't too concerned with us, but As soon as Mama Duck saw my housekeeper's cat, Mama Duck said, this place ain't safe. See ya. So Mama Duck has disappeared and gone elsewhere. But stay tuned for duck footage. Until next time, jet out. I'm taking a video of them. God, look how many little ones there are. There's just a dozen of them. Okay, Mom, I'm gonna go hide now, so don't scare you. No.
Let them do their thing?
Let them do their thing. Let them be ducks. 'Cause that's what they're best at. Look at all the little ones following her. Is she going in the chimenea? Okay, I'm going to jet out for a second.